Hi, today we are having Mr. Sravan from Sweden. He is doing his master's in biomedical engineering there. Welcome, Sravan.
Thank you.
Yeah, can you please start with a brief introduction about yourself?
Okay, my name is Sravan Ramachandran. I'm coming from Kerala. So I did my bachelor's in Model Engineering College, Trikagara, in Electronics and Biomedical Engineering. And now I'm doing my master's in biomedical engineering. Currently, I'm in my second year.
Okay, which university you are doing right now?
So I'm doing my master's in Chalmers Engineering University in Gothenburg. It's in the south part of Sweden.
Okay, so it is in, I think, Northern Europe, right?
Yeah, it's above Germany.
Okay.
It's in an area called the Scandic area, which is a bit north towards Europe. Yeah.
Okay. Recently, I did 2 sessions on higher studies in biomedical engineering in Canada and USA also. So I just want to know why you opted Sweden. Is there anything specific, or how was the country selection for doing your higher studies?
So when I was choosing my country of study for masters, the main thing I was focusing is the work environment and the way of teaching in the university. So when I came to know about Sweden, what I found was it was very peaceful and happy place. And generally, many other people don't go to Sweden.
Okay.
So when I did my research and I got to know that some universities are really good in Sweden.
Okay.
So that's why I.
So you were particularly focused on Sweden, or is there any different countries in your checklist, or how it was?
Yeah, my focus was UK and Sweden. But what I felt was like in UK, when you take the master degree, it's 1 year. So my focus was a bit more research oriented. So I wanted to do a 2-year master program where I can focus my 1 year on research and 1 year on academics.
Okay.
That's why I gave importance to Sweden than UK.
Yeah. So how was your preparation after completing your B.Tech in biomedical engineering, or how you started the preparation, or at the time of study itself you started preparing, or after completing your B.Tech, how it was?
So in my case, after completing my degree, I worked for 1 year and 6 months around in an hospital and in a company.
Okay.
So after that only I decided to do my master's. So when I started deciding, I started after going to an agency, and they gave me the details of the different countries and all. That's how I started. Then I took my IELTS test. And after getting all the documents, I just directly applied.
Okay, so what are the basic requirements to apply for higher studies? IELTS you were mentioning. Other than that, what are the requirements? Maybe letter of recommendation.
Yeah. So basically, to apply in Sweden, it's very easy. There is a website called universityadmission.se. So if you go to the site, it's a very friendly site, and you can get all the information in a very basic manner. So basically what you want to apply, when you apply for masters, what all documents you want is definitely the recommendation of letters and SOPs and all your certificates of your bachelor's, including the mark list. Then IELTS is not mandatory, but if you have, you'll get a bit more priority in Sweden.
Okay, that's the only requirement regarding. We don't need GRE and all, right?
No, GRE is not mandatory here. Even IELTS is not mandatory, but IELTS is better to write when you go to another country.
Okay.
So basically, these are the requirements. If you have some internship or work related certificates, that'll be better.
Okay. So what about SOP and a letter of recommendation? How it was? So what are the things we have to look into when we are preparing one?
Yeah. So basically, before applying to any master courses, the best thing is to go to the university website, and they will have all the entry requirements and all the things you need to submit.
Okay.
So from there, you can shortlist, and you can change your SOP into that aspect. So basically, in my case, it was biomedical engineering. So what I mentioned in my SOP was the work experience I had, and also the hospital training experiences I had, which gave me, I think, a better edge than the other students who doesn't have any experience, who come directly. So it's better to shape your SOP as per your program.
You were talking about your experience. That was an added weightage for you. So other than that, is there any recommendation if we are having something like this in our resume that would be better? Is there anything like you can suggest?
Yeah, so when you get the recommendation of letter, it's very best to get one from your head of the department in your bachelor's, and also one from your some higher ranked person in your company, if you have any work experience. So that'll be a balance of the academics and the work life. That'll give you a better edge. I feel.
And I'm sure many of the biomedical engineering students will be watching this. So I usually ask people to prepare when you study your B.Tech itself or undergraduation itself. So what is your suggestion how we can prepare during our college time itself or higher studies? Maybe regarding the CGPA or extracurricular activities like that.
Yeah, that is actually a very important thing. So when you are in the bachelor's itself, if you are pursuing to take a master degree in a different country, it's very important to participate more on different organizations in the field. For example, in Model Engineering College, we have BMA. So taking part in these activities and having these certificates in your CV will definitely help you. Also, it's in my perspective, wherever you go for masters in biomedical engineering, in the second year you have to focus your studies on a specific part. For instance, biomaterials or imaging or something like that. So it's better to find your interests and focus on that. That will help you to go through your master's easily.
Yeah, great. So, and one more thing, when you searched for your higher studies, I'm sure you have gone through different websites, maybe different universities, and you may have also shortlisted different courses that you are interested in. So can you just explain about that?
Yeah, so in Sweden is a very small country, and there are like less than 10 universities which give international education in masters. So the best universities we are providing biomedical engineering, one is Chalmers, another one is KTH. I think you will have heard about that. It is based on Stockholm, and another one is Linköping University. So these are basically the 3 degrees which directly gives biomedical engineering. In that, the program in KTH universities is more based on a medical device engineering. So it's more the people more into electronic instrumentation could prefer that degree, program.
Okay, so you are pursuing biomedical engineering. Is there any specific focused area?
Yeah, actually I am focusing on biomaterials. So currently I am doing my master thesis in a company. So they are basically manufacturing a biomaterial which helps which has an antimicrobial property.
Okay, so you are doing it along with your course, or it is like an internship, or how it is, or you will get credit for this?
So exactly, the biomedical engineering program contains of 120 credits, in which 60 credits is the academics. And either you can take 60 credits of master thesis or 30 credits of master thesis. So I'm taking 60 credits of master thesis, which goes through 1 year.
Okay, so that is
so
like you are working.
I don't have any other academic subjects. Instead of that, I am taking this master thesis. So I am only focused on the research.
Okay, so you will be directly working under company. So how about your subjects that you need to study, or about your exams or assignments?
So in this year, basically the Chalmers, my university is providing the thesis. but I'm doing my thesis in the company, so I will use the lab and research purpose of research equipments in the company. But I'm doing my thesis for Chalmers, for the university. So my publishing and my presentation, everything will come under my university. So in the first year, I had 60 credits of subjects. So basically, some subjects will have exam and some doesn't have. So what I felt was mainly outside in Sweden, the subject is completely focused on the projects and assignments and seminars and all. So it's basically the exam has a very small part in completing the course. The main focus will be on how you apply the things you study and how you perform in the lab and how you work as a group. That's the more priority they give, not the exam. So that's the one difference I felt from India and Sweden.
Yeah, that's great. And one more thing, when I had a discussion with people from in USA, so they were like, sometimes they are having open books exam, depends on the university, and also the subjects. They have the facility to option either doing project or they can focus on the subjects as well. They have an option whether they can go for project, either they can do studies in there, maybe studies writing exams. Okay, so in your case, how it is?
It is more or less the same because all my exams were open book. So, as you said, if we don't want to take a subject, you can directly mail the professor. And if the professor is doing any research work or something, they can give you one small part of the project and you can just do the project and submit the paper. You don't want to go for any lectures or write the exams. So it's a very flexible way of education.
That's great. And one more thing, you are telling you have open books exam. So how do you differentiate it, what you did in your B.Tech and Masters? You find it very easy to pass the exam or about the learning point? So whether you are completing all the requirement or you are meeting or you are just for the sake of writing exam, you are doing it, or how it is?
So as I said, the exam has really small part of the subject. So the open books, the main difference I felt was like you don't want to by heart many equations or diagrams or anything. I mean, you have everything in your front, and the questions will be a bit more like application level, and you have to really think about it. You can't just copy that from one part of the text or some lecture videos. So you have everything and you want to collect it and write it in your own mindset. So that's where the tricky part comes.
Understanding the subject is most important, other than just copying something, right?
Yeah, exactly. The understanding concept is the most important thing, definitely.
Okay, and one more thing regarding same. When you did your B.Tech, I think we had around more than 50 subjects, and we had to study all the subjects, and we have to by heart, and we have to write it in the exam. So how do you feel the difference in the masters? I think it is entirely different. So how is your experience on that?
Yeah, so when you are doing a subject, so you have to, like, as I said, completely understand the concept, and you don't want to by heart something or calculate a lot of equations.
So
and
it is less stressful, you are telling?
It is definitely less stressful and more focusing. So whatever you study in the lectures, you will have projects to do that. You will have projects to like research yourself and find your things and present it. So it is stressful, but it is stressful in a good way.
Okay.
We are just learning what we needed. That's the difference I felt.
Okay, good to know. And what about the scholarship availability in Sweden? So have you receiving any scholarships or have you applied? How it is?
So for scholarships, it's you have to go to the university website, and the universities definitely provide a lot of scholarship opportunities. So you can get scholarships from like 25% to 100%.
Okay.
So when you apply to university, you can login. You can create an account for making the scholarship and apply. That's the basic step. So yes, I have had a scholarship in my second year.
So it covers the entire college fee, or it is just covering the part of the your course fee? How it is?
In my case, it was 50% of one semester, but it can vary from like 25% to complete tuition fee.
Okay. And when we are speaking about scholarship, it's also important to discuss about the total expense we are having in Sweden when we are doing a course. So regarding the course fee or living expense, so how much amount we may have to expect?
So for alone the tuition fee for 2-year program, definitely it will come around 20 to 22 lakhs. And in case of the expense, the main expense is definitely the rent where you stay. So the rent and the other expenses should come under like 500 euros per month. So in my case, I'm doing a part-time work. So basically, I can cover almost all part of the expense through my part-time job.
Okay. So what about the course fee part? How much we have to spend for that?
Yeah. As I said, the course fee contains around 5 lakhs per month per semester. So for a 2-year program, it will come around 20 to 22 lakhs.
Okay, it's just about the course fee, right? Okay. And when we are looking into the Germany, I think there are many public universities available, and we don't need to pay a fee, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So have you ever thought of doing your MS in Germany?
Yeah, I was thinking that at a point, but the issue what I felt was like, to go to some public universities, you have to, the language barrier is mandatory. So you have to learn German and go to the study. So I felt that a bit hard to learn another language.
Okay. Even I found when I spoke with German person very recently, so he was telling there are universities those who teach in German language as well as an English language. So have you ever came to know about that?
Yeah, I had heard the same. So it is a bit more easy to get into the universities who are teaching German, but you need to like have a good knowledge in German. That'll be like a big challenge.
Understood. And again, I need to add one more question about this. So what is the CGPA requirement when we need to study in Sweden? Is there any specific cutoff?
So there is no specific CGPA cutoff you need to before you need to apply. But so it comes under which course you are applying. So every course has a specific entry requirements. So they will check which all courses you have had in your bachelor's. So the minimum entry requirements definitely are the subjects. For instance, in my courses, they had looked into the calculus we had gone through, the electronic subjects we had, and the biomedical bio-related subjects. So that's more like a cutoff. There is no specific CGPA requirement.
Okay, that's great. So we will get all the details in the website that you are talking about.
Yeah. Okay. You can get everything about the courses and how to apply and all the details in the university website. If you go directly to the universityadmission.se, you can apply that. You have to create an account, and then everything is very simple. You will have a step-by-step suggestion there. You can just follow this.
That's nice. And you were telling you are doing part-time job. So I just want to know that is possibility as well. So how is there any specific limit we can work in 20 hours per week? I think USA it is 20 hours per week. So is there any specification like that?
Yes. When we apply for the visa, they will recommend that you should only work 10 hours per week, but that's only a recommendation. But I'm sure like you won't be able to work more than 10 hours per week and manage the studies, because it's not that easy. You have to invest a big time in studies for making it easy. So I would recommend 10 hours is very enough for managing your expenses here.
So where we can find the part-time job, maybe in the university itself or outside your university? So what are the different possibilities?
University definitely will help you to find part-times inside universities. So for instance, like content creation for the web, the university web page and all. But other than that, you have a lot of Indian people who will definitely help you to find a job. So for instance, we have this Mallu associations. So if there is any vacancy in a pub or something, they'll just post it in the group and you can just go and apply. So it's not very hard to find a part-time job, but it's very hard to keep. It's a very energy consuming work.
Okay,
definitely it's not easy.
Okay, again, about the visa process. Once we need to get into Sweden, of course we need visa. So how long we can stay back there after completing the course?
Yeah, so in case of Sweden, for more than 1 year, what they are giving is not visa, it's a residence permit. So you will get the residential permit for 2 years. And
after completing okay, please continue.
No, for studies, you will get for 2 years. And after completing the course, you will get for 1 more year extension.
Okay. So within that 1 year, we need to find a job, right?
Yeah, within that 1 year, you have to find a job and convert the visa into a working visa.
Okay. So how do you feel the placement and internship support from the university?
So university conducts a lot of programs or functions, like completely depending on the department. So from there, a lot of companies will come and you can interact with different companies, but now it's online. So from there, you can find your master thesis, internships, or job opportunities. But generally, it is more like applying through LinkedIn itself.
Okay. So how's the usual? I think you will be knowing people, those who have completed course there. So how's their job search and the different opportunities you are having there?
So in case of Sweden, we have a lot of biomedical related companies, a lot of startups, which came from Chalmers itself. So I would say it's not very easy or not very hard. You can definitely find a job if you are really passionate about a specific area.
So what are the different opportunities we are having? I think after completing masters, many people are going to the R&D segment. So what are the different areas? Maybe even when I had a speaker with the US person, we can even go with as a clinical engineer, maybe design. Many aspects are there. Is there any specific area that you can suggest that we can go there?
Yeah, one of the important area which a biomedical engineer can go is definitely R&D. So there are different companies starting from biomaterials to total medical device manufacturers. So all the as areas, definitely they prefer students from completing masters in biomedical engineering in R&D. And also a different segment is like for developing the software and all. In terms of medical devices, you have a big chance, because one of my senior, he's doing product developer in a company which is actually manufacturing, like the name of the company is selling. So they are like a 3D bioprinting company.
Yeah, I think even software side having huge opportunity, because all the medical device having the software side as well. Okay, if you are good in coding, of course we can try that, right?
Yeah.
So what are the even after in India, most of the people are working in hospitals. So is there any people working after completing this in hospital, or how it is?
So in hospital, it's not easy to get into, mainly because hospitals, there are only government hospitals in Sweden. So they would definitely prefer Swedish people more than international people, mainly because of the language issue. So it's definitely not easy to get into a hospital or a clinical engineering post.
Okay. Even I have seen in USA, there are many technician courses available to work in hospital and all. Is there anything like that?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, I just want to ask about that. Okay, so regarding the salary, of course, salary will be a big concern after completing the course and when we are getting to a job. So, what is the average salary we can expect there?
After your masters, you can expect around 30,000, 35,000 Swedish crowns, which in conversion will come under 2.5 lakhs to 3 lakh Indian rupees.
Okay, great to know. And one more thing I usually ask people. So, how was your student life as a student? So, when you are studying your B.Tech degree in Kerala, and the difference when you are studying your masters in abroad. So, how do you feel the difference?
When I came here, it was like a peak of the COVID time. So I had a very bad, not a great time for exploring the Sweden.
Okay.
But what I felt was after completing 1 year, what I feel is Sweden is definitely a very peaceful and happy place. So the people are very friendly, very interactive, and you can just like go any places and enjoy and do whatever you want. There are no like limitations or things which restrict you from doing. So it's up to you. You can definitely enjoy your life here.
That's amazing.
And according to the weather, it's a bit cold weather.
Okay.
So it can, in winter, it can go up to like -5, -10 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
So it's a bit hard to get adapted, but that's not a big issue.
Okay, so how's your experience working with international students? I'm sure students will be from different countries. So how's that experience?
So the main part of every courses is the projects I was saying. So in projects, it's like the professor will make a random group for mixing the international students, and it's a very interesting thing to do, because like in all the projects you have to go to the university and interact with people and do your part. So it's a very interesting thing to meet other people from different parts of the world and know their aspects.
Nice. Regarding the academic side, the subject we are studying, of course we were telling in the B.Tech we are studying lots of subjects. There we have some we can opt. How is your electives? We have the freedom to select the subjects, or how it is?
Yeah, so one study period contains like around 2 months of the time, and you have to take 2 courses. That's it. So generally there will be like 1 mandatory courses and 1 elective course. So in case of elective course, you can like there is no limitation. You can take whatever course you want. So you have definitely a wide variety of courses in different areas inside biomedical engineering itself.
Okay, so how many subjects per semester you are talking like that?
Yeah, so 1 semester is divided into 2 study periods.
Okay.
Which contains 2 months each. So basically 1 semester will have 4 subjects.
Okay. So anyway, I think we have covered almost all the areas of the higher studies options in Sweden. So I'm sure there will be many people interested to do higher studies. So do you have any specific suggestion to biomedical engineering students to prepare for higher studies?
I can suggest one or two things. One thing I will definitely suggest is, if you have a better knowledge on MATLAB or any coding programs, it will definitely help you here, because biomedical engineering, one of the big area of biomedical engineering will be the image analysis or diagnostic imaging parts. So if you don't have a good basic idea about MATLAB, it will be a bit struggling. So it will be really good if you have a knowledge before coming here.
Okay, so coding is also important, right? That you are telling.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about your exploration in Sweden? So compared to India, so how you are enjoying your life in Sweden?
Yeah, the Swedish life is very good. So it's there is no pressure or anything. It's like a very peaceful place. So it's very easy to find a lot of friends and also it's very good life. But definitely I miss India. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Anyway, thank you for joining me today and sharing your knowledge and spending time for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, then bye.